All right, we had a chance to hear MJ a week or so ago, I think, on the whole NBC on Peacock thing, talk about load management, and I loved everything he said. Right, I think players today would do well to listen to MJ, and I think in that listening they will come to understand why so many throngs of people across ages, across classes, um, across the globe love Michael Jordan because he actually loves to compete, and you hear it in his voice. Unless he was hurt, broken ankle, broken knee, busted wing, couldn't play, he was going to play. And he prepared himself in his body during the off season, during the season, to be able to do that. And to be able to do that without having to take every third game off. Kobe, similar to MJ, had the same attitude. He understood that people were paying to come see him play and him alone, and that on a cold Tuesday in Minnesota or another listless, Thursday in Sacramento, it didn't matter that those people had been looking forward to seeing him play all year. And he was finally there, and he was going to perform for them. He was going to give them what they paid for. And you had to respect that. And I think, again, people having seen that over the course of his playing career, same with Kobe, they come to appreciate it. So it was interesting to hear the panel. I think it was Melo, Vince Carter, T-Mac talk about it. And it was just like night and day in terms of, Michael Jordan's competitiveness, his edge, his desire to be out there dominating, and then hearing those guys talking about, why you needed to do it and it's necessary. Another thing I want to just touch on, you got 15 roster spots. You got 82 games. Your GM, your owner, and your coach need to align on building a team that can play 10 or 12 players so that your star players aren't taking so much wear and tear. Right? If you've got to play Giannis or Anthony Edwards or Victor Wembanyama, he's a younger guy. But if you got to Kevin Durant, if you got to play those guys 39, 40, 41 minutes a night starting in October, then yeah, it's going to be a problem, right? I've always been a big proponent of GMs need to be doing GM stuff, and that is developing talent who can come into the game as a second string or a 10th or an 11th guy and give real meaningful minutes, particularly in the dog days of the NBA season, which is October, November, December, January, right? And also win games. And I feel like coaches can't do that anymore. I feel like GMs can't do that. And I feel like owners don't care to do that. And I get it from the owner perspective. If you're paying a guy $30, $40, $50 million a year, you expect him to be able to deliver. But the other side of that token is burnout. And that's what you're dealing with now, whether you like it or not. These guys aren't Michael Jordan. They don't have the same attitude. They want to sit every third or fourth game. And I think one of the ways to deal with that would be to actually go into and develop with long-term plans your second string and your third string, and integrate that into a strategy for the season. So